The major effect of the internet will be to make it harder for government to collect taxes. Governments can collect taxes best on things that don't move. Land is an ideal basis of taxation because you can't take it away. Yep. Individual states cannot go as far in taxing personal income as the federal government can, because people can move from one state to the other more easily than they move across countries. The internet is going to make it very difficult to collect taxes on services of all kinds. After all, you can complete these transactions in cyberspace, not on the ground. Computer companies now are getting their programming done in India. I doubt that anybody's paying any taxes on any of that. No. So that I think that the internet is going to be one of the major forces for reducing the role of government. The one thing that's missing, but that will soon be developed, is a reliable e-cash, a method whereby on the internet you can transfer funds from A to B without A knowing B or B knowing A. The way in which I can take a $20 bill and hand it over to you, and there's no record of where it came from. And you may get that without knowing who I am. That kind of thing will develop on the internet, and that will make it even easier for people to use the internet. Of course, it has its negative side. It means that the gangsters, the people who are engaged in illegal transactions will also have an easier way to carry on their business. But I think that the tendency to make it harder to collect taxes will be a very important positive effect of the internet.
And Mr. Fenton, your website allows contributions in cryptocurrency. Do you favor increased use of crypto in monetary transactions? And what do you say to those who oppose cryptocurrencies because they can be used for illegal transactions?
Yeah, I'm all for any form of money that anybody wants to use. And ideally, I'd like to get government out of the money business, just like we used to have church and state were once together. We wouldn't be able to have this meeting without officials from the church hundreds of years ago. And we should get government out of the money business. We can separate money just like we separated church and state. We can separate money and state. Because government doesn't need to be in the money business. We don't need politicians to tell us what money is. Throughout human history, for thousands of years, people have figured it out, whether it's gold or silver or Bitcoin. And the fact is that our money right now is broken. Politicians broke it. They have unlimited money that they can print from thin air without accountability. And that is now competing against an asset like Bitcoin, which is limited in supply, limited to 21 million coins, cannot be printed from thin air. So the money is broken, and politicians broke it, and everybody should have the freedom to choose better money if they choose to. I chose Bitcoin. I recommend other people choose something else as well, because the dollar is a melting ice cube.
All right, Senator Morse?
Yeah, I think government ought to stay out of the way. I think people should be able to choose what they want to do, and that's always been the way that we've thought about it here in New Hampshire. But also when it comes to things like crypto, I think the federal government needs to be careful. I mean, when you have cartels that are taking their money and investing it in places, we ought to know what's going on there. We ought to make sure that we protect that part of it. But nowhere else should the government step in on any of these kinds of transactions.
All right, thank you.